Somewhere right now there is a guy on your Instagram feed posting a screenshot of his Shopify dashboard from a beach in Bali. The numbers look incredible, the beach looks incredible, the freedom looks incredible, and the caption says something like, "Made $12,000 while I slept, this is what passive income looks like. Drop a fire emoji if you want to learn how." And something in your gut stirs. Because you are sitting at your desk at 8:47 in the morning, you have already been on 2 calls, your coffee is cold, your inbox has 34 unread messages, and the idea that somewhere out there a version of your life exists where money just flows in while you sleep on a beach in Southeast Asia feels like the most important thing you have ever seen on a phone screen. So you start researching. You go down the rabbit hole. YouTube videos about dividend investing, Reddit threads about dropshipping, courses about affiliate marketing, ebooks about print on demand, podcasts about real estate cash flow. And the further you go, the more you become convinced that passive income is the answer, the escape hatch, the thing that is going to finally break you out of the cycle of trading your time for money every single week until you are 65 years old and too tired to enjoy whatever is left. And here is what nobody making that content is going to tell you. The passive income industrial complex is one of the most sophisticated financial traps ever built for the middle class. Not because passive income is fake. It is real, but because the version of it being sold to you is specifically engineered to keep you spending, striving, and consuming in a brand new hamster wheel that feels like freedom but functions almost exactly like the job you were trying to escape. And by the time most people figure that out, they have spent thousands of dollars on courses, hundreds of hours building things that never paid off, and they are more financially stressed than when they started. Today we are pulling the curtain all the way back on why passive income has become the new 9-to-5 trap, what the people selling you the dream are actually selling, what real financial independence actually looks like versus the Instagram version, and what moves you should actually be making if freedom is genuinely what you are after. Stay with me all the way through because the second half of this video is where the real information lives, and most people who only watch half of videos like this are the ones who keep falling for the same traps over and over. If this is the kind of unfiltered money conversation you've been looking for, hit subscribe right now because on this channel we tell you the parts of the financial story that the gurus conveniently leave out. Let us get into it. Hey, I am Dave, and I invest smart, and I want to start today with an honest confession. I used to be exactly the person I just described, sitting at a desk, cold coffee, full inbox, absolutely convinced that passive income was going to be my escape route. And I spent real money and real time finding out the hard way what I am about to save you from finding out the hard way. So pay attention because this one is personal. Let us start at the very beginning. What does passive income actually mean? Because the word passive is doing an enormous amount of misleading work in that phrase, and almost nobody stops to examine it. The textbook definition of passive income is money earned with little to no ongoing active effort. Emphasis on ongoing. Emphasis on after the initial work is done. And that last part is where the entire myth lives, because almost every legitimate source of passive income requires either a massive upfront investment of capital or a massive upfront investment of time, or both. And the gap between the upfront cost and the eventual passive return is where most people quietly give up, run out of money, or discover that the math never actually worked the way the course promised. Take dividend investing. This is the most legitimate and most boring version of passive income, and it is legitimate precisely because of how undramatic it is. If you invest in a diversified portfolio of dividend-paying stocks, yielding an average of 4% annually, which is a solid realistic yield, you need $500,000 invested to generate $20,000 per year in dividend income. That is $1,666 a month before taxes. That is not beach in Bali money. That is a modest supplemental income, a helpful cushion, but it requires $500,000 of invested capital to produce it. And the gurus posting those Shopify screenshots are not talking about the decade of disciplined saving and investing it takes to get to $500,000. They are talking about the screenshot. Now let us talk about the passive income products that are actually being sold to you, because this is where it gets genuinely fascinating from a financial psychology perspective. The dropshipping course, the affiliate marketing blueprint, the Amazon FBA masterclass, the print on demand starter kit, the YouTube automation system, the digital products business. These are real business models. Some people do make real money from them, But here is the critical thing you need to understand about the economics of how these courses are sold to you. For most of the people selling these courses, the course itself is their primary business. Not the dropshipping, not the affiliate marketing, not the Amazon FBA. The business of selling you the dream of those things is the actual revenue engine. The passive income they are generating is from your course purchase. You are not buying a path to financial freedom. You are buying the product that their passive income system produces, and that is a very different transaction. This is not a cynical conspiracy, it is just economics. Once someone figures out how to package hope and freedom and escape into a digital product they can sell infinitely, with no additional cost per unit, the incentive to keep selling that product becomes overwhelming, and the more aspirational the marketing, the more they can charge. A course promising to teach you a skill sells for $97. A course promising to teach you how to escape your 9-to-5 and generate passive income while you sleep sells for $1,997. The information inside might be identical. The packaging is priced entirely on the dream being sold, not the content being delivered. And here is the psychological trap that makes this so sticky. The passive income dream targets a very specific emotional wound that almost every working adult in America carries right now. The feeling that your time is not your own, that your autonomy has been surrendered to an employer, that your financial survival is conditional on someone else deciding your continued employment is worth what they are paying you. That wound is real. That pain is legitimate, and the passive income marketing complex is extraordinarily skilled at locating that wound and pressing directly on it with every ad, every Instagram post, every YouTube thumbnail, every email subject line. When your pain is real, the solution being offered does not need to be scrutinized as carefully, because you want it to be real too. Behavioral economists call this motivated reasoning, the tendency to evaluate evidence differently when the conclusion we want to reach is emotionally charged. When you desperately want a way out, your brain does the work of talking yourself into the solution rather than critically evaluating it. And the gurus are counting on that. Their entire marketing funnel is built on activating your motivated reasoning and then stepping out of the way while your own brain sells you the course. But Dave, I hear you thinking, what about the people who actually did it? What about the real success stories? And they exist. They genuinely do. But here is what the survivorship bias conversation in passive income never includes. For every person who built a successful affiliate marketing business, there are thousands who spent 6 months building a website that earned $40 before they gave up. For every person who cracked Amazon FBA, there are thousands who bought inventory that never sold and are still paying storage fees. For every person who built a successful YouTube channel that generates ad revenue while they sleep, there are hundreds of thousands of channels with fewer than 500 subscribers that were abandoned after 4 months of filming in a spare bedroom. You do not see those people in the Instagram feed. You do not see those people in the YouTube testimonials. You see the rare exception being presented as the reliable rule. And your brain, running its motivated reasoning software, accepts that framing because accepting it feels better than the alternative. Now here is where Dave pivots hard because I told you the real information is in the second half, and I meant it. Real financial independence, not the Instagram version, but the kind that actually changes how you live and what you worry about, is built on a different set of principles entirely. And the first principle is the most important and the most unsexy thing I am going to say in this entire video. Boring wins. Index fund investing in a diversified low-cost portfolio, done consistently over a long period of time with contributions that increase as your income increases, is the closest thing to genuine passive wealth building that exists for regular people. It is not exciting. Nobody is posting screenshots of their Vanguard account from a beach. There is no course to sell. There is no community to join. There is no guru getting rich off your decision to dollar cost average into a total market index fund every month, which is precisely why it works. The passive income industry has no incentive to tell you that the simplest, most available, most mathematically reliable path to building wealth over time requires no course, no system, no blueprint, and no monthly subscription to a Discord community. The second principle is that real passive income is built after financial security, not instead of it. The sequence matters enormously, and the gurus reverse it deliberately. The correct order is build your emergency fund. First, eliminate high-interest debt. Second, build a diversified investment portfolio. third, and then if you want to pursue a side business or a content channel or a digital product, do it with surplus energy and surplus capital, not with borrowed money and desperation. When you pursue passive income from a position of financial stability, it becomes an interesting experiment. When you pursue it from a position of financial desperation, it becomes a trap that costs you both money and time you cannot recover. The third principle is that your time has compounding value too. Every hour you spend building a dropshipping business that generates $200 a month is an hour you did not spend developing a skill that could increase your primary income by $15,000 a year. Every dollar you spend on a course promising passive income shortcuts is a dollar that could have been compounding in an index fund for the next 20 years. The opportunity cost of chasing passive income shortcuts is not just the money you spend, it is the trajectory you delay. The fourth principle is to distinguish between a business and passive income because most of what is sold as passive income is actually a business that requires active management. An Airbnb property requires maintenance coordination, guest communication, pricing management, and periodic renovation investment, or requires supplier management, customer service, ad spend optimization, and platform fee negotiation. A content channel requires consistent production, trend monitoring, audience engagement, and algorithm management. These are legitimate businesses that can generate real income, but calling them passive is a lie that sets up unrealistic expectations and causes people to abandon genuinely viable income streams the moment they discover that real work is involved. And the fifth principle is the most liberating thing in this entire video. You do not need to escape your income. You need to own your income. The 9 to 5 is not the enemy. The trap is being financially fragile inside the 9 to 5. When you have no savings, no investments, no financial cushion, your employer has complete leverage over every decision in your life. You cannot negotiate your salary because you cannot afford to lose the job. You cannot say no to unreasonable demands because you have no runway. You cannot take a calculated risk because one missed paycheck breaks everything. The freedom you are actually seeking is not freedom from work. It is freedom within work. The confidence that comes from owning enough assets that your employment is a choice rather than a survival requirement. And that confidence is built through consistent boring investing, not through a course you found in a targeted Instagram ad at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. The passive income dream is not evil. The desire behind it is completely legitimate and completely understandable. But the industrial complex that has grown up around selling that dream is extracting billions of dollars from people who are already financially stressed by offering a shortcut that in most cases does not lead where the map claims it does. See the system clearly, build wealth boringly, invest consistently, and stop buying courses from people whose actual passive income is your course purchase. Dave is here every single week to tell you the parts of the financial story that do not have a course attached to them. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, subscribe right now because you are exactly the kind of person this channel was built for. Share this with someone who just bought a passive income course and has not opened it yet. And we will see you in the next one.